Hello, welcome to Introduction to Java Programming. In this session, we will discuss about Java IO streams. Let's begin. So IO streams means input-output streams, and stream is a flow of information, a flow of data. Let's understand. So to bring in information, a program opens a stream on an information source. The information source may be a file or a memory or a socket or a DB, and reads the information sequentially as shown in the following figure. Right, so here what's happening, a program is actually bringing the information from some source, so then it is actually input stream. Okay, we have input streams and output streams. Reading the data is input stream and writing the data is output stream. So here a program reads data from a source. That source can be a file, or it can be some memory, or it can be some network socket, etc. Okay, and yeah, so let's understand the output stream here. Right, a program writes some information or some data to the destination. Again, the destination again can be a file, or can be a socket, can be some device, output device, or some memory or DB. A program that can send information to an external destination by opening a stream and writing the information out sequentially. So this is called output stream. So IO streams means input stream to read data by opening a stream to some source, and write output stream means to write data to some destination, resource or destination, and writing data sequentially. Okay, so both the cases we are opening actually a stream. A stream contains flow of information, right? So now these kinds of streams are two types, right? There are two kinds of streams actually. One is the text stream, another is the byte stream. Text stream is actually also called character stream, and byte stream is also called binary stream. Okay, so now based on this data type, right, this can be a character stream or a byte stream. So before we go actually the details and the differences between this character and byte stream, let's understand some other details. The java.io package contains all these stream classes that support algorithms for reading and writing. Okay, so for input streams and output streams, you have some classes specially designed, okay, to read, and they are all available in java.io. Right, so we need to import this particular java.io package to use with these streams. And there are two kinds of streams: character stream, which is also called text stream, and byte stream, which is also called binary stream. Okay, and other than that, Java has three predefined byte streams which we are using already in our programs. System.in, it's a byte stream, predefined byte stream. So whenever I create a scanner, whenever I create a buffer reader, I will be actually reading from this particular byte stream, that is system.in. And whenever you want to write, we are using system.out. Okay, so the system.out is attached to the output device. System.in is attached to the input device. And we have system.error also, that is the error stream, where we can write errors to that particular stream. So these are the predefined byte streams which we are already using in our program. Now let's understand clearly the difference between what are text streams or character streams and the binary streams. You know, Java char set is actually of 16-bit. That means each character is of 16 bits, 2 bytes and 16 bits. So any character is represented with 2 bytes actually. So for example, here I am a string, right? So now each character is going to get represented with the 2 bytes, right? Whereas the binary stream contains, byte stream contains binary information. Okay, so the data is represented in zeros and ones, and each data item is represented as a byte. So a byte means 8 bits. So any data that is represented in 8-bit information. See, for example, I want to represent A. So A value is actually 65. So in order to represent 65, you require 8 bits. 8 bits are enough, right? So see, A is represented in 8 bits only. That means only 1 byte of data. Okay, if you want to represent 1, so 1 is actually having ASCII value, that is 49. So in order to represent 1, you require 8 bits of information, not more than that, right? So when you represent data in the binary stream or byte stream, each character is of only 1 byte or 8 bits. Whereas in the text stream, you have each character is of 2 bytes. That's the major difference. Text streams are having more size actually, because each character is of 2 bytes, whereas the binary streams or byte stream has less size because everything is represented in a byte actually. So lot of size differences, almost half actually, right? And at the same time, text streams are readable. Text streams are readable. For example, here I can read, it says I am a string, right? But here I could not able to read what is this information is about, right? I could not able to read. So byte streams or binary streams are not readable, whereas text streams are readable. That's why all our programs we write as a text. Okay, so all our objects will have data which is as a text actually, right? And of course, you can also have the byte streams, and you can have the files which are storing the binary information. So both are required. See, in terms of size, binary streams are best because they occupy less space. But in terms of working, in terms of reading and writing, so we require text streams so that they are human readable, we can understand it. But both we will be using actually. So as you progress, we have a concept called serialization, where the objects which contain the textual data is written into byte streams. And later we will transport that byte stream data, and we will get back the object from the byte stream. So that concept is called serialization and deserialization. We are going to see that. So there what happens, your text streams will be written to byte streams, and from the byte streams you will get back your text stream data. Okay, so finally, so there are two kinds of streams, text streams and binary streams, and each one has its own advantage. Okay, so now in order to deal with these two types of streams, text or character streams, and here text or character, it's not binary. Two types of streams. One is text stream, and there is binary stream or byte stream. So text is also called character stream, binary is also called byte stream. We have two types of streams, and we have two directions. So one is input direction, another is output direction. And to deal with these two types and two directions, we have four base classes which are available in java.io package, which are dealing with these IO streams. Right? So there are four base classes which are dealing with these streams. Right? So coming to the text stream, we have reader and writer as the base classes. Reader is to write, reader is to read, that is input stream. Writer is to write, that is the output stream. So okay, and those are actually text streams. Coming to byte streams, we have input stream and output stream, and all these are classes which are available in IO package. In fact, all these four classes are abstract classes. All these four classes are abstract classes, and they can't be instantiated straight away. We have to make use of the child classes of these classes. Now let's understand this particular IO package. So here I have the diagram which actually represents the complete the hierarchy. So here I have the text stream at the bottom side, and I have the byte stream at the top end actually. Now coming to this text stream, I have two base classes, reader and writer. See, this reader and writer, which were actually given as you can actually see they are abstract classes. They are abstract classes. Okay, their representation was different. Reader and writer are abstract classes, and this reader and writer has so many child classes. If you see here, the reader has so many child classes. Out of them, our interest is actually buffer reader. By using buffer reader, we can read data from files, from system dot in any console input device. You can read the data, and of course we are going to use file reader also here. This file reader is to read data from the file. Okay, in fact, this buffer reader will wrap input stream reader. So here our interest is buffer reader, input stream reader, and file reader. Now coming to the writer class. So to write, actually we have buffer writer. Buffer writer actually wraps file writer. There is a file writer to write to the file, and in fact we can also use print writer, um, and this print writer also can wrap a file writer. Okay, so here our interest is buffer writer, file writer, and of course we may also use print writer. Okay, so this is about the text stream. If you go to the byte stream, we have the base classes input stream and the output stream. These are abstract classes, and of course we have a class called file. We can actually use that also. So that is also as part of um, IO package. Now coming to the input stream, our interest here will be file input stream. We have the file input stream over here in order to read from a file, and this can be wrapped by buffered output stream. Sorry, buffered input stream. File input stream is wrapped by buffered input stream, and data input stream is deprecated. Otherwise, we can use it. But object input stream is of interest because it is used in serialization. So coming to output stream, we have file output stream to write to a file, and which can be wrapped up with buffered output stream. And in serialization, we will be using object output stream. So each class, each section, so we have 4 base classes, right? Each class we require at least 3 classes to be known about. So at least 12 classes we are going to use. Fine. So now let's actually go and understand in detail. So reader and writer are the abstract super classes for character streams in java.io. So now we are starting with the character streams actually. So for the character streams or the text streams, we have top level classes reader and writer, and these are abstract classes. So abstract classes will have some API and some partial implementations. Because these are character streams, each character is of 16-bit. Okay, so reader and writer provide some API and they will have their partial implementations. Now let's understand the writer class here. So if you see the writer class, our interest, as I told, we have the buffer writer, which is wrapping the file writer, and we may also see the print writer. So in print writer, we will use in advanced Java whenever we are writing something from our servlet back to our browser. Print writer we will be using. Print writer some PW or out equal to response.getWriter. That's how we will actually create print writer object over there. But here we will be seeing file writer and buffer writer. And yeah, so from the reader class, so our interest will be buffered reader. So this buffered reader actually will wrap file reader. So file reader and buffered reader, and buffered reader can wrap input stream reader also if at all it has to read data from the console devices. So that will be our interest actually over there. And yeah, so what we do actually after learning about these streams, we will go with file handling. So in order to deal with file handling, we have a file writer class which is used to write into a file, and then we have a file reader class. By using file reader, we will be reading data from a file. And yeah, so from file writer, these are all the methods that we have. So if at all I want to write to a file, so now first of all I need to create a file over there, and then I can write, and these are all the right methods I have. I can write a string, I can write a portion of a string, we can write a single character to a file, we can write an array, and we can write a portion of array also. And we can flush the stream always, because it's a flow of information. When you flush, whatever the data that is left over in the stream will get cleared off actually. And every time when you open, you have to close it. So these are the methods of a file writer. So in order to write, we require write method, and write arrays, write strings, write integers is actually possible. When you write integer, corresponding character is written. So coming to the reader class, so we have a file reader, we have all these methods actually. Okay, so we have a read method which actually reads a single character, and we can read an array. We can read an array, and we can also read a portion of an array. So file reader has a read method, file writer has a write method. So other than read method, file reader also has a close method, also has a mark method just to mark the current position, and to ask whether position is mark is supported or not, and then to know whether the stream is ready to be read, so ready function, and we can reset the stream, and we can skip some characters also. So these are the methods in the reader method. So if you know the file reader and file writer methods, then we can straight away write some programs uh, by writing some data into files and reading the data from the files. Okay, so that is actually the file handling part. So that file handling part we will see in the next session. So as of this, the summary is going to be like this. So we have IO streams in Java. There are two types of streams: text streams and byte streams. Text streams are readable. Text streams are readable, but each character is of 16-bit. So the size will be, each character is of 2 bytes. Byte streams are unreadable, but they are actually taking only one byte space. So in terms of size, byte streams are so good. In terms of writing and reading, so text streams are good. So both are required actually. And we have two directions: input stream and output stream. So totally we will have four base classes are getting resulted, and all are available in java.io package. And what are the four base classes? We have reader and writer for the text streams, input stream and output stream for the byte stream. So now all these are abstract classes, and we have uh, the child classes of them. So in order to work with files, we will have a file reader to read, and before reading, so we will have a file writer to write actually. And we have seen the methods: file writer has write method and file reader has a read method. And later we will wrap, we will using processing buffers actually. So in order to in order to wrap a file writer, we have a buffered writer, and in order to wrap file reader, we have buffered reader. Okay, so with this text streams will be done, and later we will actually go into the byte streams. Okay, so that's about the basics of IO streams in Java. And in the coming session, we will deal with file handling. Thank you.